innovators in televised wrestling of personality profile, split screen, instant replay, and other technical firsts. The program voted #1 by the Wrestling Writers Federation of America. Wrestling, featuring the top grapplers from the world's largest governing body, the National Wrestling Alliance.
Charlie Platt with Les Thatcher. Welcome to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Les, a lot of things are happening here in the Southeastern Wrestling area, and I think the injury of Johnny Valiant is very well on the people's minds.
This is correct. Johnny Valiant has a broken leg. He will be out of action for some time. We'll be bringing further details on that later on in the program, but certainly it's going to change a lot of things that are taking place in here in recent weeks, Charlie.
A lot of action coming your way today on Southeastern Wrestling. Brad Armstrong will be in action today against Oki Shikina.
Mr. Saito, the Alabama State Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, will be going against Roy Welch.
Robert Gibson and Frank Levert take on the Southeastern Tag title holders, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey.
Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin will also be in action as a tag team today. And speaking of Rose and Condrey...
We don't mean to interrupt you, but we got something... Oh, just a minute here. I understand we have the Florida State Arm Wrestling Champion amongst us today. I'm speaking of you, Paul Orndorff. We want to issue a challenge. I'm issuing a challenge to you right now. I'm the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion. And I'm issuing you an arm wrestling champion right here. I want it right here on TV where everybody can see it. I can put you down, baby. Look at that 20-incher right there. I'll put you down in a minute. If you got any guts at all, I don't think he's got the guts, cuz. My cuz here has beat him from Hollywood to Broadway and back. Look at this. You ain't got the guts. Come on, Orndorff. You ain't no champion until you come against my cuz right here. We're issuing you a challenge on TV today. Now take that.
Paul Orndorff, at one time the Florida State Arm Wrestling Champion. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure this will be a surprise to Mr. Orndorff, and I think we can talk it over with Paul, and I've never known Paul to back up.
No, I didn't know that Condrey was the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion. Of course, there's a lot of things we don't know, Charlie. But, of course, we've got a match upcoming, and our first contest will be Brad Armstrong, a fine young athlete, against Japan's Oki Shikina. And right now, let's go for those introductions to the ring.
10-minute time limit. Introducing at 240 pounds from Japan, the Japanese destroyer Oki Shikina. His opponent at 208 pounds from Marietta, Georgia, Brad Armstrong.
Brad Armstrong out against Oki Shikina, the man that calls himself the Japanese destroyer. And of course, here it is the vitality and the exuberance of youth against the rugged, rough Japanese veteran Armstrong against Shikina as Brad comes up with the headlock. Oki maneuvers him into that corner against the break, and they start fresh once again, jockeying for position, feeling one another out, collar and elbow. Headlock and a reversal by Brad, coming up with a hammerlock, and Shikina moving to the ropes to get the break, Charlie.
Of course, Brad having his problems in recent weeks, less with injuries, especially to that rib cage and recent matches, tag team action, and Brad's not a quitter. He keeps going.
Exactly. He's a fine young man, admired by many, even a lot of the veterans. Begrudgingly, nonetheless, give him a lot of credit for a short period of time in that slow ring, Charlie, but a lot of great results have come his way. Right now, Shikina applying a nerve hold to the trapezius area of Brad Armstrong. Of course, you can see the ribs, the rib area, heavily taped and wrapped. Brad receiving quite a bit of punishment last week here in our television ring, and unscheduled with Mr. Saito. And then again, as we're going to see on tape later on, Rose and Condrey worked those ribs over extensively. So Brad still in there, battling, wanting to stay with it and not giving the ribs a rest. And, of course, only time will tell whether that's going to be a positive or a negative effect, Charlie.
Ring veteran Oki Shikina, a tough opponent for Brad Armstrong. Shikina knows the ins and outs of the sports, and he knows how to take those shortcuts.
As we mentioned while we're watching this action, Johnny Valiant with a broken leg, saying credit or blame, whichever you want to call it, goes to the Tennessee Stud. And like I say, I think we'll be talking about that later on in the program.
Front chancery now by Shikina on Brad Armstrong. Brad looking for some means of escape. swing that arm around. There he goes into a hammerlock. Good move.
Okie finds the ropes and gets his break once again. Shekinah using the ropes wisely. Each time that Brad comes up with a good solid hold, Okie's been able to move to those ropes and get the break and a fresh start and hasn't had to relinquish too much offensively. Right now, Armstrong cranking up on that headlock. And Shekinah with the tackle back to the headlock. The hip in, takedown, and in command.
It looks like Shekinah using those tacks to pull Brad over for a pin, but it's only a 1 count, and Brad comes back out of it and goes right back to that side headlock.
Moving up to their feet once again. Brad still cranking down on that headlock, and Okie takes a handful of hair, maneuvers young Armstrong. And a chop. Staggers him in again. Shekinah opening up now, and he's found his spot and moves in with that front chancery.
Tightening up on the pressure. Brad looking for that corner over on the ropes. Brad Armstrong taking Shekinah into that turnbuckle, but Shekinah, with a little foresight, comes up, catches Brad off guard, and goes to work on those ribs.
And he's concentrating. Certainly that bandaged area is like a red flag to a bull. It's only drawing attention, but nonetheless, the rib area needs to be heavily taped and bandaged as it is. A lot of fans, Charlie, some wrestlers wondering if Brad can go it in singles after having the tag belt to his father, then relinquish to Rose and Condrey. Brad has said that he is more than ready to try and prove that particular point to wrestlers and fans and promoters alike, the fact that he can make it on his own.
Armstrong in trouble, but Armstrong, good move. Brad Armstrong was in trouble against Shekinah, but he catches Shekinah off guard for the pin, and your winner of the match is Brad Armstrong.
Brad found an opening, and Shekinah punishing those ribs. Brad wisely took it and made a beeline for the outside, but he did score a good win, and of course Brad and his father Bob joined us right now. And Bob, we were just discussing the rib cage problems Brad has had, and of course the tape upcoming involves that same injury.
That's exactly right. Brad's taped up here, but he wanted to try it on his own, see if he could handle it, and obviously he did the job. I know it's painful. I've had broken ribs, and anybody that has knows how it feels, but I'm real proud of him today. He did the job, did it good.
He certainly did. Well, we're talking about Rose and Condrey and the Armstrongs, and of course Mr. Saito involved in what we're about to see. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's roll the action. Rose and Condrey against Brad and Bob Armstrong.
Now here things got a little wild, and Brad and I both were in the ring. They'd been working on his ribs. They caused the injury a few weeks ago themselves, and looks here like we had things pretty good. And here comes Saito, who I'd had problems with earlier. There's a blow from the back. He's very good at karate, no doubt about that. Brad tried to save me there, but he got hooked and got a good chop there, too. And we've both been through a match already. You know, these three have formed what you might call a terrific trio there. They're ganging up. Now, you can see Saito, he's putting it on me while Rose and Condrey are working on Brad over here. I will have to say this for that Japanese gentleman, that he's got hands as hard as a rock. And right here, he opened me up real good over the eye. One of those chops just split me, and it took 12 stitches to close it up. But, you know, this is backfighting. You know, this is not one-on-one situation. Thank goodness some people were watching the thing, and they came in, and finally Rose and Condrey and Saito, the terrific trio, chose to split. I knew Brad was hurt at this time, and all I could think of was getting Brad out of there. I wanted to get him back in the dressing room, get him in that shower, because I know when you got those cracked ribs like that, anytime you take a deep breath, it's going to hurt.
Of course, Bob, reverting back to this thing with you and Saito, it more or less came to a head last week right here on this set where Saito antagonized Brad into that ring and went to work on his ribs.
And that was Rose and Condrey's doing. They sent the Japanese gentleman out here to grab Brad and antagonize him. He slapped Brad, and Brad knocked the devil out of him. They went into the ring, and he got caught with the karate. Now, here's a good example of Saito, a really brave man. I just turned around. I heard the crowd screaming. I turned around, and there he's chopping me again. I was already opened up. I had blood in my eyes, and right here I was just trying to stay on my feet and stay conscious, and this Japanese gentleman, he was doing his thing. You know, he thought he had everything going his way, and at this point he did. It was hard for me to stand up. I was using the ropes, trying to keep my balance, and here's the Japanese gentleman. He's really having a ball right now, brother. He's really having a ball. He's just using those hard hands and chopping and aiming. He opened me up real good. It tore half my eyebrow out with those chops. So he's got things going his way. But, you know, every dog has his day, and in a minute he's going to mess up. He's expecting me to go down any time, and to tell the truth, I expect him down any time. Here he had me in the corner, and he finally had me trapped. Now, here the referee's trying to keep some kind of order. He grabbed him, he pushed the referee down, and that gave me a chance to catch him with a little chop of my own, brother, and he bit the dust. Now, turnabout is fair play. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and now it's my time, brother. I'm going to show you a little American karate here. I'm going to jack your jaw, knock you down, step on you, do whatever I can, because I had took a beating, I had took a licking, I'm keeping on ticking, and I'm chopping that man from Tokyo to L.A., brother. And there's a good old American right cross.
Bob Saito, of course, tends to differ with the how tough the American karate style is.
Well, he's always knocking. He's knocking
right.
everything in America. Now, there he caught me with a karate kick that took the breath. He's going for the Japanese sleeper here, but I reversed it, and I hooked the cobra hold on him here. And I had him pretty good. You know, he wasn't going to get away. And again, you're going to see the other part of the terrific trio, Condrey, Rose, and Saito, are coming in to do their number. Now, they're thumping on my head, but I was determined this time I was not going down. I was going to hurt somebody. I was going to try my dead level best not to be the last one hurt. Here he is, having a field day, right? I'm trying to kick at him. I finally got my hands on that Japanese dude, and I wasn't going to let go. Rose and Condrey could have tore my arms out because I'm hanging on, brother. Here they're trying to pull me off of him. The referee's grabbing. Everything just kind of went haywire. At this point, I couldn't see very much because I had blood in my eye, but I knew I had a hold of that Japanese gentleman, and I wasn't about to let go. Now, here comes the troops again, thank goodness, but I had a good handful of hair, and it would have took a Mack truck to pull him away from me at this time, but they grabbed the back of my feet there, and there was nothing I could do. When they pulled him away from me, it was like just pulling part of my teeth out because I wanted him so bad. You know, one thing about America, he's always knocking Americans, we believe in going face to face. We don't do any backstabbing. He might be tough, no doubt about it. They say he's got the strongest hand in wrestling, and I can attain to that. 12 stitches in my forehead will attest to that fact. But here they finally got us apart. He wants to come back. I want him to let me go, but the referee saw fit to break it up at this time. But, you know, it hadn't settled anything. We had a battle. The war is not over. One way, shape, or form, Mr. Saito is going to get his just like everybody does in the end. He's had his day, and mine is a-coming.
Comments to Bob Armstrong. Congratulations, Brad, on that win today on television, and best of luck to you and Bob. We'll be back with more of Southeastern Championship Wrestling in just a moment. For reservations and information, call 320-6163. Tickets on sale at Bethel Box Office Monday at 9 a.m. The main event, 18-man, two-ring triple chance over-the-top rope battle royal, $10,000 to the winning team. Plus, you'll see an Alabama State title match as Mr. Saito takes on Bob Armstrong. Challenge tag team match, Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff take on Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. For the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship, Brad Armstrong takes on Jerry Stubbs. Robert Gibson will be in action against Ron Bass. Jimmy Golden takes on Jimmy Jones. And Larry Horn goes against Oki Shikina. Monday night, Birmingham's Powerful Auditorium. That main event, 18-man, two-ring triple chance over-the-top rope battle royal, $10,000 to the winner. Monday night, Powerful Auditorium, Birmingham.
7 great matches. Monday night, Boutwell Auditorium. Tickets go on sale 9 a.m. Monday morning at the Boutwell box office. With me, the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Saito, who defends that title against the original holder, the man he defeated for it, Bob Armstrong, on Monday night at Boutwell. And on my other side, the challenger for the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, a former champion. He'll be facing the youngest U.S. Junior champion in the history of the belt, Brad Armstrong. And before I talk to this champion and this challenger, let's hear from the Armstrongs.
You know, Monday night in Boutwell Auditorium is a very big night for the Armstrong connection. My son Brad, the youngest man ever to win the U.S. Junior Heavyweight title, will be defending that title. And as for me, I got a chance to win a title that I won originally right there in Birmingham. Now, you've been slipping by. You've been knocking Americans. You've been knocking everything you can knock in Birmingham. But on Monday night, I can knock you, brother. Some way, shape, or form, I'm going to get that belt. Brad's going to defend this belt against Jerry Stubbs, the man who held it longer than anybody. But he's got the heart, he's got the will, and he'll do it. And in Birmingham, Saito, you say you're so much better at karate. If I have to, I'll do what I can. And remember, it just takes one shot to put you down, big boy.
We'll start with you, Jerry. You're going after a belt you held longer than anyone in the history of the...
That's right. I held the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship longer than anybody ever. You understand me? Ever. And let me tell you something, Armstrong. You're the youngest to ever hold that belt. And you're going to be the shortest reign, because when I get through with you in Birmingham, I'm going to be the new champion, just like I'm supposed to be.
Mr. Saito, your belt is on the line against the very tough Bob Armstrong.
You know, the other night, I talked to my father. He's so very happy because I'm a champion. American belt and Alabama State champion. He's so happy because my father, very good kamikaze pilot. He's a 2 times attacked the Pearl Harbor. Same to me now. I attacked the American wrestler. I attacked the Burma Armstrong. He's an American karate.
Monday night,
American
Birmingham,
wrestler.
Boutwell Auditorium.
Joining me now to address Jimmy Golden. And Jimmy, I certainly have a lot of questions that I would like to ask you pertaining to an incident that took place this last Tuesday night at Expo Hall in Mobile concerning you turning on your cousin Ron Fuller in the ring.
Turning on him nothing, brother. Let me tell you something. I took care of business, baby. Like I've been telling you I was going to do for a long time. And that's exactly what I've done. I've done a good job, didn't I?
You came back into this area. Ron has taken you as a tag team partner. On numerous occasions, you went down to the ring and helped Ron when he was in trouble. I just really don't understand why you do all of this and then turn on him in the ring.
You know something, Charlie, old buddy? You fit in real well down here in southern Alabama with these peanut farmers. I bet you make a fine peanut farmer yourself. All you people are just great. Everything fit together like a little puzzle, man. It couldn't have been better. All you people come up to the Tennessee stud, old Ron Fuller, and said, Jimmy Golden is all right, man. He's had a change of heart. Take him as your partner. Y'all did great, man. I knew you loved me all the time because I'm the greatest that there has ever been, and I'm here to stay. I've taken care of the stud, and I'm going to take care of the whole Fuller family.
Taking into consideration what has happened this past Tuesday night, I have another question that I, if I could, would ask that, did you in any way, John Valiant recently turned on Ron Fuller. Did you have anything to do with paying John Valiant to do that?
Well, let's just say this, man. You know, whatever is whatever, you know. I don't know nothing about John Valiant. He left there. He's gone. He couldn't really take care of business like he should anyway, so I took care of business, so I did it my way. You know, if you want to do something right, you got to do it yourself. So I did it myself.
After a very unfortunate turn of events, he's back in the southeastern area, Jimmy Golden. Ladies and gentlemen, this event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing at 224 pounds from Oklahoma, Roy Welch. His opponent, 245 from Japan, the Alabama State heavyweight champion, Mr. Saito.
Mr. Saito out against Roy Welch. You see Saito taking off his Alabama State heavyweight wrestling title. Belt, of course, a non-title match. Welch moving out ready. And Saito, there's your bell. We've got action. Saito moving out low, and they lock up. Welch, nice block takedown. Right over on top of his man, and Saito finds the rope. Roy opening up early, Charlie, and realizes with this man, his power, his knowledge, versatility, you've got to handle him quick.
Indeed, it always amazes me to watch the various styles that Mr. Saito can go with. He probably one of the greatest pro wrestlers in America today. The Japanese Olympic champion. Good head by Welch, but as you see, Saito finds a quick way out.
He's built like a fire plug, but he moves well. He moves that weight deceiving. 142 to 46 pounds is his normal weight, and seen with a nice arm bar straddling Welch now to hold him down, apply that pressure. Yes, Charlie, Saito moves in and out of one style or the other with fluid grace. You can't go in the ring with one set battle plan and expect to handle him that way. And I think any man that's faced him thus far in our area can attest to that. You've got to go in there and be versatile. You've got to watch for his moves, which gives him a little bit of advantage, Charlie. He's got to open up first. You've got to know where he's going before you can defense against him.
Welch looking for some means of escape from Saito.
Roy trying to turtle on him so Saito can't find a handle, but as he comes up to his knees, Saito hooks that leg and breaks him back down, trying to grapevine the other leg. And doubles it up now, doubles it up. course, you know, a stalling tactic in the amateurs will draw you a penalty. In the pros, you don't have that short time limit. And a man in a crucial situation will sometimes work a stall to see if he can lull his opponent into a false sense of security. Right now, Saito with that double leg lock and keying on that arm has his man tied up. And of course, at this particular point, you unless you can make a man submit, you can't go any farther. But certainly, he's not moving well either. Saito now relinquishing the arm, going back to the legs. Welch up on that knee and breaks out. Nice move. Saito moved the leg around there within reaching distance. Roy with a nice quick counter and comes out on top. But once again in the ropes, he'll get the break.
Saito back to his feet. Going into grip, Saito with the hair. Plainly could see pulling the hair back on the ropes, and the referee calls for another break. Saito puts in that chop before the break. And again, chopping to the midsection chest area of Roy Welch. Mr. Saito.
Pressing now, Charlie, and staying right on top of his man. He's opened up, and the assault, as you can see, is very effective. Roy battling back, and Welch staggers his well-placed right hands, drops him with the fourth one, and now picks him up, catapults him cross ring. Roy going for that stretch, almost missed it, but is able to hook the abdominal stretch.
He has the stretch. Bruce Fortson, the ring official, asking for submission, but it's Saito throwing his man off. Fair takedown by Welch.
Roy didn't have the leg grapevine completely, and Saito was able to power out. Roy going to the spinning toe. Now Saito kicking it back into that turnbuckle. Dazes Roy now, and Saito moves in. And there's the power in those hands we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks, Charlie.
Going to work on the back of Roy Welch. Takes his man into the ropes. Misses with that shot. Welch going for a roll-up, but it was Saito holding onto those ropes.
He anticipated him there and was able to hang on. Here's one of those suplexes. He drops Roy.
That's it.
He stunned him, Charlie, as he caught the ropes on that roll-up and took advantage with the suplex and the body press. Mr. Saito, your winner over Roy Welch. Quite a good wrestling match.
Indeed, the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Saito. Our personality profile is next. Stay with us.
Spotlight today, we're going to talk about a unique type of wrestling match, and I think the Birmingham fans will be seeing for the very first time in professional wrestling history in that city this type of match very soon. A 2-ring, triple chance over the top rope battle royal, in which you'll see any place from 15 to 25 wrestlers. The match we're talking about will involve 18. The winners will receive $10,000. Now, we're going to talk to some of the wrestlers that participated in this type of thing. With me now, Norvell Austin, Paul Orendorff, and Ron Fuller, the Tennessee Stud. And Ron, in this type of match we're talking about, we start with 18 men in one ring, and you and I might go through the rules and regulations of this type of contest. So your first chance is in ring one.
That's right. And in ring one, you have to be thrown over the top rope into ring two. If you're thrown over the top rope on any other side of the ring one, you're able to come back in, and you haven't lost your first chance.
So the second chance is in ring two. Once you've been thrown into that ring, then to be eliminated totally from the match, you have to be thrown out one of 3 sides of that ring onto the arena floor.
That's right. You go out any side of ring two, and you are basically and forever eliminated from the battle royal. You've lost both chances there. But the last 2 men in ring one stay in ring one, and then the last 2 participants in ring two stay in ring two. And after everyone else is eliminated, then there's a tag team match, and at the end of that match, those 2 winners split $10,000
prize money. Right. So it's the 2 finalists in ring one against the 2 finalists in ring two. And Paul, this can bring up some unique situations, because it's possible that you could be left in one ring or the other if you're down to the final 4 with someone that you don't get along with, someone that you have wrestled in the past. It could be a Ron Bass, it could be a Dennis Condrey, it could be a Mr. Saito as your partner, so you're in a position for $10,000 to make amends, at least briefly, for one match anyway.
That's very true, you know, Les. That's why it's a very unique type of a match. You don't see too many of the double ring, the battle royals like this here, because, like you say, there's 18 people in there, there's a lot of bodies, there's a lot of money at stake. You never know who's going to be your partner, so everything's up in the air. You don't know what's going to happen. It's, you know, like anytime there's money up like that, 10 grand, a lot of things can happen. And just like you said earlier, you don't know who your partner's going to be, and you just got to forget about that and just go out there and try to win that money. And that's what we're going to try to do.
Exactly. Norville, and later on in the program, we're going to be seeing a double ring battle royal where you and Paul were partners in that particular match. But as we mentioned, it could be someone that you've wrestled against very recently. And how do you feel as you go out? Normally, if it were Paul or Ron, you know your partner's covering your back. But in this situation, you can't always be certain.
Yeah, it kind of breaks your concentration a little bit if you wind up with somebody that's you're not real tight with. It breaks your concentration a lot, and it's kind of tough to win when you're not concentrating on the match. But like Paul said a minute ago, you got to try to trust whoever you wind up with, because 10 grand is a lot of money. Split down 2 ways, making 5 grand a piece, a lot of money, man.
In another studio, we have Ron Bass, Dennis Condrey, Randy Rose, and Mr. Site, who also involved in this big match coming up in Birmingham. Let's hear their views on a 2-ring triple chance battle royal.
$10,000, triple chance, a battle royal. Well, that's going to be fun. Birmingham, Alabama, boys. Old Moneybag, Mr. Don Curtis is going to turn loose of it again. Well, I'm going to tell you something, people. Whenever you get us out there in that ring, we're not going to take this thing personal. It's not a personal thing to us. It is all money. Whether it comes down to a team with any of us individuals here or anyone else, that's fine, because we're going to get in there and do what we got to do to win. Now, there's going to be people out there chasing other people. There's animosities. I think this Robert Gibson is chasing me. He says, I hurt his brother. Well, that's fine. Just come on, Gibson. Ron Fuller, you better be watching your back, because you got something we all want, baby. Me and my cousin got some fresh meat. Orndorff and Austin. Sue it, baby, sue it. I tell you what, cuz, we done drove away in the black vet. Now we're going to drive away with the money, baby. Wine, women, song, and money. Mr. Saito, $10,000 battle royal. Oh, I like a $10,000. I like American dollar. We guarantee we take American dollar. All right. A big party. Party. Okay. Party down, baby. Here, everything.
18 men going after $10,000, beginning all in one ring, every man for himself, until it boils down to 2 men in ring 1 and 2 in ring 2. They'll have a tag team match from that point on. The winning team scoring the fall will be the possessors of $10,000 to split between them. A lot of tough competition, a lot of exciting action if you've never seen one. And that has been our NWA Spotlight for today.
Levert and Robert Gibson. Levert and Gibson, their opponents with a combined weight of 465 pounds, the Southeastern Tag Champions, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose.
Condrey and Rose, the Southeastern Tag Champions, Frank Levert and Robert Gibson. Levert, new to our television ring. Young man carries a lot of size around. It'll be Robert Gibson starting for his combination. And let's see, for Rose and Condrey, it'll be Charlotte, North Carolina's Dennis Condrey. Out to do battle with Robert Gibson.
Bell sounds, we're ready for action. Condrey sizing things up all the way around the ring. Collar and elbow into that wrist lock. Arm twist and a reversal by Condrey, a reversal by Gibson, and a takedown for Robert Gibson on Dennis Condrey.
Robert applying the pressure to the arm bar, now windmills it one more time, and Condrey finds the ropes. Condrey checking Frank Levert out as he locks up once again with Gibson. Robert traps that arm, but Condrey back on the hook on the far side now, blocking his move. Moves under, takes him down. Nice leverage. And the tag is made. Gibson saw it and moves away. Good strategy on his part, staying out of harm's way, out of the champion's corner. Headlock now on Randy Rose. Rose is top of the tackle. Gibson on the move and is tripped, and down he goes and right back. Nice single leg takedown, but Rose kicks him away, and they're up both ready to roll. Frank Levert catches his first tag in this match, and of course his work cut out for him. Nice drop toe hold by Rose. Rose on the ride. Levert trying to make the move. But of course, speed-wise, Rose being able to contain him. Levert not in a position to use his size as heft against Rose yet. As Rose turns him out, gets a 1 count in, up to their feet. Rose and Condrey will be king on Levert, no doubt about it, being the least experienced of the combination of Gibson and Levert. A nice waist lock and the takedown, but into the ropes and breaks. Condrey out to shake hands with Levert. Levert slaps away at the hand, but not too enthusiastically. Moves in. Condrey on the go behind. Waist lock, takedown. Levert turning out again. Condrey with the block. Levert now with a hook. Condrey switches under, comes up with a nice hammerlock, and Rose and Condrey with some good wrestling moves, which again proves that they are versatile athletes. They prefer to take the shortcuts through the back alley style, but they can use the sophisticated hooks and maneuvers. That was a good wrestling. And Rose opens up in that back alley style we're talking about. Stomping away at Frank Levert. Hooks him again, drives him down. Rose applying the pressure now. And Rose and Condrey have contained Frank Levert since he's entered that ring, and the man has not been able to stay up and use the height and the power which certainly is a strong point, Charlie.
Levert needs to make a tag with Gibson. The tag is made with Condrey. Very effectively in and out. The Southeastern Tag Champions, Randy Rose and Condrey, take down by the hair.
You know, while we're watching Condrey and Rose with some good switches on Frank Levert, I was a little surprised that Condrey moved out of here and yelled about this arm wrestling challenge to Paul Orndorff, and talking about he is the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion, which there is no such animal. There is no title for that particular.
I was about to ask. I'd never heard of it.
If there is, Don Curtis just initiated within the last 24 hours. I'm not aware of it either.
Condrey catches this man with that clothesline coming off from the second rope. Rose crashes down. That's it. 3 count. It's over. Frank Levert defeated by the team of Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey, the Southeastern Tag Champions. Very effective team here in the Southeastern Wrestling area, and as they continue to be the Southeastern Tag title holders. Joining us now, dynamic team, Paul Orndorff and Norvell Oppen. And gentlemen, great to have you out.
Of course, you fellows were in a 2-ring Triple Chance Battle Royal. It came down to the two of you as one tag team, and Condrey and Rose is another, and we've got that action on tape. Let's take a look at it and hear your comments, Paul.
This event, the finals of a 2-ring Triple Chance Battle Royal, and of course, Rose and Condrey against Austin and Orndorff. Norvell?
Right on. We had a tough time with these. You know, they're a fine, polished team, but we don't play cheap. And we got some things to sell with these two guys, and we're going to sell them one way or another sooner or later. Right, Paul?
That's right, Norvell. You know, what they did last time is on called for, and if they want to play that way, well, we can play that way also, because sometime, someplace, somewhere, this will be settled somehow, because when it's all over with, when all the smoke clears, you're going to see Norvell and myself wearing those belts.
Of course, Paul, the going was rough throughout this, any 2-ring battle royal.
Well, sure, there was 18 people, and then Norvell was naturally in a little bit of trouble previous to this. So, you know, he's out of trouble right now. He's going to come out, he's going to fire out of it in a minute, because that's the type of person that he is. He'll get down, start fighting. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and that's exactly what this man did. But not like those two guys. When it gets too hot in the kitchen, they just run on out, tuck the tail between his legs and ran. That's exactly what he did, or what they did. Well, I tell you what, it's not going to be that way, because if they want to fight dirty, right here's 2 people that can fight dirty right back with it.
Of course, Condrey Rose trying that headbutt on you, dog, and we're going to see Rose with it here. They should know better by now.
Big mistake, man. That's where the tide turned at, and I kind of hung in there, hung on, and tagged my partner Paul, and he come in there tearing them from limb to limb. And this is why they're going to get out of it at. They played a cheap shot, knocking the referees around just to get out of it. Oh, if they can't beat you one way, they'll beat you another kind of way. They always got something in the back.
Second referee, we can see outside in the right-hand corner of your screen there. In this type of match, there usually are 2 officials, one in and one out. We see the second official coming in momentarily, and as you mentioned, Rose and Condrey go to work on both officials, and the match ends up a no contest.
At this time, you can tell that the team of Rose and Condrey are very confused about the force of Orndorff and Austin.
That's exactly right. Right there was uncalled for, and when they got down, when it was getting too hot for them, just like I said, they resort to start beating up on the referees any way that they can to get this match thrown out, and that's exactly what they did. They must have had this planned in case it ever happened, and it did. And they got the match thrown out, but it will be settled.
Exactly right, man. We mean businessmen call out to show everybody that we supposed to be the champions. We're gonna prove it somewhere along the line, Condrey and Rose. You can run, baby, but you sure can't hide.
Condrey was talking about being the Southeastern Arm Wrestling champion a little bit earlier, Paul.
That's right. I'll tell you what, if he wants to challenge me, I'll take that challenge anytime, any place, and anywhere. So just come on, bring it on out here.
Well, the gauntlets have been thrown, Charlie, and certainly there's the answer.
Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin, outstanding tag combination. We'll have more action in just a moment.
Auditorium. Tickets go on sale Monday morning at 9 a.m. at the box office. With me, Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin. They'll be in that 18-man, 2-ring triple chance battle royal with $10,000 going to the winning team. Plus, in tag team action, they'll be facing in a challenge match the current Southeastern Tag Team Champions in a non-title bout, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. Before I talk to Norvell and Paul, let's hear from the champions.
You know, Birmingham, Alabama seems to be our town, don't it, cuz? My cuz here done won a 1980 Corvette, and now I understand there's $10,000 up in a 2-ring triple chance battle royal. Well, we don't need no triple chance. All we need is one chance. That's all we ask for. That's all we want. And I guarantee you, baby, you're looking at 2 men right here that's going to walk out with $10,000. $5,000 apiece. Money, gold, wine, women, song, new cars is all we need. Up in Austin, you two ain't nothing but a stepping stone. That's all you are, baby, a stepping stone. Some pepper team, stepping stone. As they say.
Well, Paul, they're talking about needing only one chance. You're going to try and eliminate that before the battle royal ever comes about.
That's right, Les. You know, first things first, for myself, I want to go out there and prove to the people and to myself and to the wrestling world that me and Norvell can go out there and defeat these two people in a non-title match. If we do that, then I'm sure we can get a shot at those belts. Second, that 2-ring battle royal, well, that's going to be quite interesting too, because you know anything can happen in that. It could be me and Norvell, it could be me and Rose, it could be me and Stubbs, anybody. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to winning that $10,000, and I'll be there and I'll be ready.
Norvell, 2 big important matches for you Monday night.
Right on, boys. You got your hands full. You call yourself champions, huh? I call you champions, too. You're Hollywood champions because you're always wearing them dog eyeglasses. You're going to have a reason to wear them after we get through in Boutwell Auditorium, but we're going to black both of y'all's eyes.
Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, a super lineup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event, one fall TV time remaining, introducing with a combined weight of 467 pounds, Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff. Their opponents, combined weight of 440 pounds, the Superstar and Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy Jones and the Superstar out against Austin and Orndorff, and this is our first look at the tag team combination of Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin on our television screen. And while we're talking about television matches, we're waiting for this one to start, Charlie. I did want to bring up that Don Curtis, because of the tremendous support of the fans and because of the great ratings in the southeastern area, has proclaimed the month of February as Championship Month. And here on television, each week throughout the month of February, there will be a title match of some sort, a regional title of some type, each week on our television program.
Championship month for the month of February. A lot of things happening in the Southeastern Wrestling area. The month of February will be looking at a lot of great wrestling talent into the area, in addition to what we already have. Ken Lucas, for instance.
Right. Big Kenny coming back to the area. A tough competitor, and right now we're looking at another tough competitor in Paul Orndorff as he locks in with the key lock on that hammer lock to the masked Superstar. Orndorff has been challenged by Dennis Condrey, who proclaims himself Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion. He wants to go against Orndorff in an arm wrestling match. Orndorff told us earlier he would be happy anytime, any place. So the groundwork has been laid, and we're just going to have to line that one up. Nice takedown by the Junkyard Dog, Norvell Austin. And this is going to be a tough combination for Condrey and Rose to handle, Orndorff and Austin.
Over in that corner, tag is made with Jimmy Jones. Collar and elbow, center of the ring. Back takedown by the Junkyard Dog with the arm bar on Jones.
Joe's a rugged, aggressive professional. We got our first look at him on our television ring. And, of course, his work cut out for him against Paul and Norvell. Nice takedown by Paul right in on top. And you look at this Orndorff up and down from head to toe. He's a well-developed athlete. He doesn't have a weak physical characteristic that I can tell. The power is well proportioned throughout the body. And plus, a very capable mental wrestler as well. A combination that's hard to beat any place in the country.
Junkyard Dog in now, catches an elbow from Jimmy Jones. Hip toss takedown. And now the superstar tagged in, goes to work on the Junkyard Dog. Side headlock on Norvell Austin. Tag is made again with Jones. Jones and the superstar in and out very effectively at this point in the match. Norvell tags Paul Orndorff, and he has both of them in the ring. Both men in the ring. Orndorff takes Jones into that turnbuckle. All four men in the ring now.
Orndorff moved right back in to help Norvell. He saw the 2-on-1 situation, was right there to help him. The superstar nailed and driven outside. Austin sets Jimmy Jones up. Orndorff with that elbow waiting for him, drops Jones. Going for the super with a cradle. This is what we saw in his tape. And you've got the pin.
He has the win.
A very unique move. You don't see it a lot, Charlie. Well executed by Paul Orndorff, and it came up with a winning 3 count for his team.
Your winner of the match, Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin. And wait a minute.
Condrey and Rose coming out with a table and a chair, and Charlie moving on to the ring.
It appears that Orndorff just completing a match, and he accepted the challenge of Condrey. Condrey picks a fine time to come out with the table right after a match. It would seem that Orndorff would have the disadvantage at this point.
Certainly Orndorff has been worn down from his competition in the match, Charlie, and right now he's locking grips with Dennis Condrey. Paul down, Condrey down, Rose seconding Condrey, and the Junkyard Dog standing behind his partner. And let's see what the Florida State Arm Wrestling Champion and the self-proclaimed Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion can do. Condrey with a bit of an advantage here, Charlie, but Orndorff blasting back, and watch the concentration. Watch the concentration, Orndorff.
Orndorff coming down. Wait a minute.
Condrey went for a handful of hair. Orndorff beat him to the punch. And look at here, Rose trying with that chair. And it hits that rope, it backfires and catches him on top of the head. And I was laid plans of mice and men, and there you have it.
Look what they just did, just backfired on him.
Indeed, it does seem that Rose and Condrey,
the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion, tried to get a handful of hair, Charlie, and Orndorff beat him to the punch. Rose went after him with a chair. The chair came ricocheting back off that top rope and shot Randy a good one himself.
We'll be back with more action on Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
It's like for a super lineup of Southeastern Championship Wrestling. For reservations and information, call 320-6163. Tickets on sale at Bethel Box Office Monday at 9 a.m. The main event, 18-man, 2-ring triple chance over the top rope battle royal, $10,000 to the winning team. Plus, you'll see an Alabama State title match as Mr. Saito takes on Bob Armstrong. Challenge tag team match. Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff take on Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. For the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship, Brad Armstrong takes on Jerry Stubbs. Robert Gibson will be in action against Ron Bass. Jimmy Golden takes on Jimmy Jones, and Larry Horn goes against Oki Shakina. Monday night, Birmingham's Powerful Auditorium. That main event, 18-man, 2-ring triple chance over the top rope battle royal, $10,000 to the winner. Monday night, Powerful Auditorium, Birmingham.
Another big matches Monday night, 2 of them for titles, and the 18-man 2-ring triple chance battle royal. Involved in that one, Jimmy Golden seated on my left and Robert Gibson seated on my right. In addition to that, Robert Gibson has wanted a shot at Outlaw Ron Bass. He gets that in singles action in Boutwell Auditorium on Monday night. Before I talk to Jimmy and Robert, let's hear from the Outlaw Ron Bass.
$10,000, triple chance battle royal. I'm going to tell you something, people. We're going to be coming in there and we want a little of that money. We're going to rake it home and take it home, have the big party that we want. And I'm going to direct remark right toward Mr. Robert Gibson. Robert Gibson, you're crying. You're saying that I hurt your brother Ricky. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You get in the ring with me, it's going to be two Gibsons, not just one that's going to be hurt. Mr. Okie, $10,000, baby.
Let me tell you just one thing. I will be the winner of that match because I love more rough they come in. Better I like. You know me. You know my reputation. I love that $10,000. Oh, that's good money.
All right, we're going to start with you, Robert. You want Ron Bass, and you've got him in a single match before the big battle royal.
Yeah, Les, that Ron Bass I hear you saying I'm crying and I'm doing this and that, but Ron Bass, I'm coming out there for one thing. Do something my brother should have done a long time ago. I want to take care of you come Monday night.
Jimmy, $10,000 is split between you and a partner if you come down to the Final Four in that big two-ring battle
A
royal.
whole lot of money, brother, and I sure would like to spend it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in my pocket, baby, $10,000. Hopefully Mr. Gibson over here will be my partner, and he can help me out, and we'll take the coins and split it up, baby. A lot of money, a lot of money. 3 chances, a 2-ring battle royal. I'm looking forward to it, baby, because there's going to be some bodies flying, and I ain't going to be one of them. I'm going to be the one throwing some, baby.
Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium. 7 bouts, 2 title matches, and an 18-man, 2-ring, triple chance battle royal. $10,000 going to the winning combination. Tickets go on sale Monday at Boutwell Box Office, 9 a.m.
Certainly we have an irate Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey.
We certainly do. Condrey a bit embarrassed over what happened here just a few minutes ago in his quick arm wrestling career, but Paul Orndorff has done this many places, many times. It's a tough one to beat there or in the wrestling ring under standard wrestling rules. A lot of action going on, Charlie. Before we recap what's happened today, we'd like to mention this once again. Don Curtis is proclaimed on television February Championship Month. During that month, we will see defended here on the television program the Southeastern Heavyweight title. I might mention there, this is a very important title because Harley Race will be arriving in the area in March. The man holding that title should be the one facing Harley for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Southeastern Tag Team belts will be defended on television, the Alabama State title, and the United States Junior Heavyweight title. All 4 of these titles will be defended one each week for the entire month of February. Coming soon to the area, Ken Lucas. We mentioned world champion Harley Race, Andre the Giant, and 2 additions to that, Mr. USA Tony Atlas and Mr. Wrestling 2, Charlie.
Indeed, and something that comes out in my mind is a situation that has developed, and part of it due to something that happened last week here between Saito and Bob Armstrong. Bob very much after the Japanese.
You know, I guess exactly right. Of course, Brad was involved in the incident here last week. We saw the tape of Armstrong and Saito, these 2 men locked up like animals, and neither wanting to relinquish an inch, give up, and certainly anytime both forces to be reckoned with, both powerful men, both very good at their own specialties, and any time that these 2 men square off in a wrestling ring, it's going to be Katie bar the door.
And with Bob Armstrong preoccupied with Mr. Saito at this time, it also gives Brad an advantage of seeing exactly what he can do in singles competition by himself.
Right. That's exactly right. Brad, as I mentioned earlier, we had discussed this, and he said, well, you know, a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers feel that my dad has helped me a lot with the tag team wrestling and everything, and I think it's time I prove to him, to myself, to the fans, promoters, or whoever, you know, that Brad Armstrong can lock horns with him and do it on his own. And I think the young man has got the stick-to-itiveness and the desire, the courage, and the talent to go out there and do just exactly as he says, Charlie.
Briefly running down today, Brad Armstrong was the winner over Okie Shikina in our opening match. Mr. Saito, the winner over Roy Welch. The Southeastern Tag Champions reigned supreme over Robert Gibson and Frank Levert. And in that last match, Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff, the winners.
And our unscheduled arm wrestling contest, you'd have to give it to Orndorff. Condrey went for the hair, ended up being thrown on the floor, and Randy Rose hit himself on the head with a chair. So the arm wrestling was short-lived.
And big news from Don Curtis. Once again, the next month, the month of February, has been declared as Championship Month here on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Certainly hope you'll join us for that. We'll see you next week here on Championship Wrestling.
Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Innovators in televised wrestling of personality profile, split screen, instant replay, and other technical firsts. The program voted #1 by the Wrestling Writers Federation of America. Join us now for the fast-paced competition of professional wrestling, featuring the top grapplers from the world's largest governing body, the National Wrestling Alliance.
Hello, I'm Charlie Platt along with Les Thatcher, and this week on Southeastern Championship Wrestling, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey will be in action against the Junkyard Dog, Norvell Austin and Robert Gibson.
Should be quite an event, and the man setting the World Junior Heavyweight Division on fire, Jerry Stubbs, will be taking on Roy Welch.
We'll have some videotaped highlights of a match in which Mr. Saito takes on Bob Armstrong. Also, a demonstration by Saito on today's program.
That's right. We'll be demonstrating Saito's unique brand of sleeper hold, Charlie in the wrestling ring. Plus, we're going to see Jimmy Golden in action against Jimmy Jones.
And a totally unexpected happening that has shocked the world of pro wrestling between Jimmy Golden and his cousin Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud. It has the entire wrestling world in an uproar, and at less, it was something that totally unexpected, and Jimmy Golden has fooled many people.
In its wake, Charlie, it left the Tennessee stud on the injured list and has added Don Bass to the broken leg list, which has already got Johnny Valiant on it. And, of course, we've got tapes of that issue. You'll be seeing it later on in the program. But many of Ron Fuller's friends are calling the offices of Don Curtis wanting to challenge Jimmy Golden because of this sort of a revenge thing, because of this incident. Of course, you'll understand it more as the program unfolds as we go along, but it certainly, as you mentioned, Charlie, has the whole wrestling world buzzing.
Hopefully we'll get some comments from Jimmy on this matter. February, beginning next week, championship month here on television, we will have a title match each week, and that's something in itself.
That's right. One of the titles will be defended right here on television each week throughout the month of February, and that should be quite exciting, Charlie.
Speaking of those titles, we have some new title holders here in the Southeastern Wrestling area.
That's right. Brad Armstrong has proved himself in singles matches by winning a one-night tournament to become the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, and certainly the youngest man to ever hold that title.
18 years old, Jerry Stubbs aced Les Thornton for the World Junior Heavyweight Championship, and we'll be talking to Jerry a little later in today's program. All in all, an outstanding hour of professional wrestling coming your way, and we'll be bringing you up to date on, of course, the situation with Jimmy Golden and Ron Fuller. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, Brad Armstrong.
Brad, I know it's certainly got to be one of the proudest moments of your very short career.
Yes, sir. It's like a dream come true winning this belt. Lady Luck was certainly in my corner that night, I tell you.
Brad, of course, now the going gets a little bit tougher because now you've got to meet a lot of tough challengers.
Yes, sir. I went into the tournament, the lightest man in the tournament, 205, kind of the underdog, you know, the least experienced there. And Dad's always told me the David and Goliath story, you know, the big man, the small man, and I try to keep that in mind, and that usually helps.
Brad, looks like you've got things going your way, and we want to wish you a lot of continued success with that belt.
Thank you.
Brad Armstrong, United States Junior Heavyweight Champion. Certainly we followed the career of Brad since July 4th, Les, and it's amazing.
And a lot of things have happened in a relatively short career, and Charlie, you can only see good things and up is the way Brad Armstrong is going.
A lot of action coming your way today. Let's go to the ring now for the introduction of our first match. Our first match is 1 fall, 10 minutes time limit. Your referee, Larry Brock. Larry Brock, your referee. Introducing in the corner to my left, at a combined weight of 445 pounds, Norvell Austin and Robert Gibson. Austin and Gibson. Their opponents, at a combined weight of 472 pounds, the Southeastern Tag Team Champions, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. Rose and Condrey taking on the Junkyard Dog and Robert Gibson, and two outstanding athletes against the champions.
Certainly the champions have had rough sledding, Charlie, but they've hung on to those belts tenaciously. They'll get quite an outing with Gibson, and Norvell should give them quite a team to go against. It will be Dennis Condrey starting for the Cousins and the Junkyard Dog. Norvell Austin out as Ron Bass joins us here at our microphone.
Well, it's the first time I've had a chance to come out here and talk with you fellas while the match is going on. And the reason I'm out here is there's one little skinny punk up there in the ring, Mr. Robert Gibson. The man is chasing me around and saying that I heard his brother Ricky and that he wants to challenge me. Well, that's okay. I want to come out here and say he's going to get annihilated right here on TV today because he's the Southeastern Tag Team Champion, and everybody knows that those Conley can take care of business, baby.
With the ongoing feud with Robert Gibson, certainly you put his brother Ricky out of professional wrestling, and Robert has every right in the world, I would think, to seek a little revenge on Ron Bass.
That reminds me of a dog chase with a Mack truck. What's he going to do once he catches that Mack truck? Robert Gibson ain't even going to get through the match today. I guarantee he's going to get beat because Rose and Tommy are starting to figure out.
Gibson looking good now as he moves up on Randy Rose. Nice arm drag. Tags Norvell Austin, and the dog moves in to take over. Gibson and Austin looking good as a combination, and Ron Bass, certainly the law of averages are bound to catch up with you sooner or later. You've put a lot of people on the disabled list, the injured list, and sooner or later it's going to come back to haunt you, I'm afraid.
If you keep yourself in condition, and if you're a superb athlete like I am, you don't have to worry about injuries. Robert Gibson can chase, the Stud can chase, anybody, Paul Orndorff, anybody can chase the big bass man, but once you get him, what are you going to do with him, man? Too much anybody can do, baby. Look at that move. You ain't said nothing about Rose and Condrey. What about that move right there, son?
Randy Rose combines some good wrestling in his repertoire here, and nice flying head scissors. I've never said that Rose or Condrey couldn't do it at all on that mat, but certainly they elect to cut corners, Charlie.
Indeed. Good flying head scissors by Rose has Norvell tied up with those head scissors, and the junkyard dog looks for some means of escape.
May I interrupt? You say cut corners. Does that mean that they try to win a match? Well, that's exactly what they do, Matt Thatcher. They win matches, baby. That's what you got to do to be a professional wrestler, is win matches, baby.
Well, there are a set of rules laid down for professional wrestling like any other sport, and the normal object is to follow those particular rules and win within them. But, yes, I say that Rose and Condrey, along with yourself, will go outside those rules occasionally, Ron.
Make rules fit your own situation, and that's what makes a loser, and that's what makes a winner. No, you hadn't said nothing about the fist that is being used right now.
Good move by Robert Gibson. Catches Condrey with that abdominal stretch coming off of the rope. And referee Larry Dock asking for a submission. In the meantime, there's a corner being cut by Randy Rose coming off of that rope.
Well, told you the man would get annihilated today, and look at him now. He's hurt already.
Making the save, gets the tag, and moves in to go to work on Robert Gibson.
Now they got a chance to hurt this kid. Looks like Rose and Condrey might take care of it for me.
Beautiful drop kick from the second row by Randy Rose.
Very good, Randy.
Gibson being very tenacious, Ron. He's staying right in there.
He is sad, all right, but he's getting his brains beat out. There's a big difference, Lance Thatcher. You're sad he gets your brains beat out. That's ignorant, and that's what's happening right there.
Condrey with that reverse chin lock now, applying the pressure to Robert Gibson.
We got it. Just like brother Ricky, boy. Thatcher. Charlie Platt, did I tell you the man is in for a beating of his life today right here on TV, and he's got the audacity to chase me and want to get a hold of the big man? Well, he ain't in my league yet, baby.
Rose clotheslining Gibson, but Gibson bails out on the 2 count. The tag goes to Condrey. Condrey moves in to take over, and a kick to the midsection. Rose and Condrey pounding away at Robert Gibson, and they certainly had him on the run. Makes the tag. We've got a fresh man in the junkyard dog.
Junkyard dog in against Dennis Condrey.
Look at the fist up there on my man last night to Charlie Platt. You ain't said nothing about this. I can't even looking at this. You people are so blind.
Robert Gibson tags back in. Misses Condrey. Condrey hits the mat. A little bit of their own medicine last, I think. Wait a minute.
Ron Bass has put his 2 cents worth in. He tripped Robert Gibson. Condrey going down for the pin, and then when Ron Bass
and successively trying to go. Robert Gibson out after Bass on the floor. Connery Rose doubling up on Norvell Austin in the ring. Mass confusion reigning here. Paul Orndorff hits that square circle with cowboy boot in hand, and also Rose and Condrey. Gibson and Bass still going at it on the floor. And the match did go to Rose and Condrey with a good outside effort by Ron Bass on that one, Charlie. Indeed, and if we could get Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff out of that ring over here, we need to review a particular piece of videotape in which Rose and Condrey. Orndorff and Austin have been a thorn in the side of Rose and Condrey for the past several weeks, and certainly breathing down the champion's neck. They have formed a very potent tag team combination.
Paul, stuff like that, you see what we have to put up with? That's a bunch of garbage. This is what they've been doing for the last 4 or 5 weeks to us. They've been running in, interfering in our matches, interfering on Bob Armstrong matches, and I tell you what, something's going to be done about it. And we're going to put an end to it quick. Well, Paul, we've got some videotape of you and Norvell against Rose and Condrey. Let's roll that and get your comments. Well, right now we're seeing Norvell exchanging blows with Randy Rose. That was mentioned before you at the desk, Paul. The fact is that you and Norvell have been breathing down the champion's neck. That's true, Les. You know, we faced these Condrey and Rose 2 or 3 different times. We've defeated them. And we're demanding that we want a title shot. We want something done about it because we know that we can beat them. We've proved it to ourselves and to the people. These two guys can be beaten, and they know it. Norvell, I know that you're very happy with the success and the results of the team of you and Paul.
Right on. Paul's a doggone good partner. Couldn't have got a better partner nowhere in the world. And we can't function as a team. But like you said, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey, they pull out all stops and they interfere with matches. But we got some news for them. Sooner or later, somewhere down the line, we're going to take them. We're going to take them bets from them.
Well, gentlemen, this match here, quite a bit of money at stake. You and Paul were able to come up with a big win, and because of that, certainly have to be considered major threats for those tag team belts.
Right on. We put surprises on everybody, taking people by storm. A lot of people in this area didn't know Paul, but they doggone know him now, and we just got lucky to come out on top.
You know something, Norvell? You know that sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We don't care what we have to do to win. If we have to do what they do to win, we're going to do it because we want that. We want those belts. It's plain as simple as that. And if we have to to resort to their kind of tactics, then we will. It don't make no difference to me.
Exactly right. Exactly.
We want those belts. Those belts mean money, prestige, and let's face it, I wouldn't call those two the true champions, not one bit.
Going back to some comments you made on your arrival here in the southeastern area, Paul, you said the titles very much interest you, whether it be tag championship, singles, and you know that these tag titles are but a stepping stone and put you in better shape for world title shots against men like Harley Race.
That's very true. You know, to get a shot at the world champion, you got to be noticed. And like you said, that these belts would be a start for myself and Norvell. Who knows, it could be Norvell. But I was once a world champion one time. I know what it takes to be a world champion. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting some of these belts. Not only the tag team belts, but the Alabama heavyweight belt. It doesn't make a bit of difference to me. I'm coming out for somebody's belt, and they best be aware of it.
And here we see Norvell giving a little of the Condrey Rose treatment right back at him.
Exactly right. They got a little taste of their own medicine, and I saw a good opportunity to pull one of their stops, and I did, and we come out on top on that. Well, good for the goose, good for the gander, I guess you might say.
A lot of money at stake in that match, and gentlemen, it's owned to the Southeastern Tag titles. As far as you two are concerned, that's what you're looking at.
That's exactly what we're looking at, and you're going to see us wearing those belts in the very near future. That's a promise. You can count on it, bank on it.
Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin will be back in just a moment.
For a Southeastern Wrestling card. For reservations and information, call 320-6163. Tickets on sale Monday at 9 a.m. at the Boutwell box office. In a special event, Mr. USA Tony Atlas comes to Birmingham to battle Jimmy Golden. The Southeastern Tag Team title on the line as Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey defend against the tandem of Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff. In a karate legal match, non-sanctioned by Southeastern Wrestling, Bob Armstrong battles Mr. Saito. United States Junior Heavyweight title on the line, no disqualification as champion Brad Armstrong meets Jerry Stubbs. Robert Gibson against Outlaw Ron Bass, and Charlie Cook opens against Oki Shakina. Don't forget, Mr. USA Tony Atlas against Jimmy Golden. Rose and Condrey defend against Austin and Orndorff. Armstrong against Saito. Brad Armstrong defends the U.S. Junior title against Jerry Stubbs, and it all comes together Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium at 8 p.m. Tickets go on sale Monday morning at Boutwell Auditorium at 9 a.m. for this super lineup Monday night beginning at 8 p.m. The Southeastern Tag Team Championship is on the line as the gentlemen with me defend their title. That's Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. They'll be facing these challengers, Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin.
You know, Paul, this is it. This is our big chance. Southeastern Tag titles are up. Condrey and Rose, we already proved ourselves by beating y'all in a non-title match the last time out. And Mr. Don Curtis saw fit that we get a championship match. And we gonna come and show y'all what we got.
You know, there's been a lot of good things happening. You know, our hostages are free. The Super Bowl is all over with now. And now we're coming up for those belts. This is what we've been working for the last month or so here. This is what we've been training for, working very hard for it. But Norvell and myself, we're ready. We know what kind of team they are. They're a very good team. We're coming out there for one reason and one reason only. And that's to defeat these two, Condrey and Rose, and get those belts.
Y'all going down, baby.
Gentlemen, they do hold the win over you. How do you feel about it now, Dennis?
You know, Les Thatcher, everybody is gunning for Condrey and Rose. Everybody in the southeastern area wants a shot at these belts. Well, let me get this straight now, boys. Are you sure, absolutely sure, you want a championship match with Condrey and Rose? Because I want to get this straight for the records. You're going to get one shot, and one shot only. And I think that's all you're going to want.
Randy, they seem to be ready and prepared.
I don't think they're sure, cuz I don't think they got the guts. They talk about their names, but they ain't beating nobody, and they talk about the hostages. But the only thing that's going to be in captivity now is you, boys, because when you come for Condrey and Rose, you're coming for the best. So drive your truck, your trailer, or your bus, but there won't be no running from us.
Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey defend the Southeastern Tag Team Championship against Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin Monday night in Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium. And Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, makes a rare appearance as he battles Jimmy Golden. That's Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium at 8 p.m.
Certainly the world of pro wrestling is still in shock over the recent incident in which the man sitting with me now, Jimmy Golden, turned against his own cousin, the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, in the ring. And the challenges continue to come in from wrestlers from all around the country, Jimmy, and frankly the fans are still shocked as to why you would do such a thing.
Can you imagine that, man? I tell you what, I feel like a real Hollywood star all of a sudden. People coming in from everywhere. Friends of Ron Fuller's done challenging me, getting ready, man. There's going to be the greatest record set ever in the southeastern area. I'm going to beat them all, baby, line them up, and bring them on. Look here at the Tennessee stud. That's all that's left of him right there. You know, the man fell right into the spider's web, and I ate him alive. Thanks to all of you people out there. I knew you was on my side all the way. And I'm going to tell you something. The Tennessee stud is going bye-bye. I'm going to take care of business. Robert Fuller, all his friends. You know, it makes me feel like Superman almost, man. They're all coming right at me, baby. But that's what I want them to do, because I am one of the greatest that's ever been, baby, and I'm here to take on all challenges, especially from them Fuller boys.
Well, I think the question in everyone's mind right now is still, why would you do such a thing?
Well, it's like this, Brother Charlie Platt, the Tennessee stud and his brother are Tennessee trash. They're no good. The only thing that they ever think about is breaking legs and breaking bones, especially that Tennessee stud with his inside toe hold. But he has broke his last leg. The stud I saw him haul him off. I saw him haul the boy off like the Tennessee trash that he is, and he won't be with us no longer. And the day that he does get out of the hospital, he better be facing me. And if he don't, he is a coward. A gutless coward. That's what I'm telling you. A gutless coward, the Tennessee stud. He is no longer the Tennessee stud. I am your stud, the super stud, right here, baby.
Your attention, please. Our next match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left at 224 pounds from Oklahoma, Roy Welch. Roy Welch. His opponent at 225 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, the world junior heavyweight champion, Jerry Stubbs. Jerry Stubbs. Jerry Stubbs, what can be said about this man's career in pro wrestling of recently?
Oh, well, he, of course, the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, held that title longer than any other man, and now has taken the belt around the waist of Les Thornton, which is no minor chore, Charlie, when you get right down to the brass tacks of it.
The National Wrestling Alliance World Junior Heavyweight Champion, this fireman carry takedown by the champion.
And, of course, he's got a good junior heavyweight in that ring with him right now. Veteran Roy Welch. Roy on the reversal with the arm drag. Nice takedown. You know, a lot of people comment on Jerry Stubbs' attitude, his ego, his style in the ring. But as I've said so many times, Charlie, throughout my wrestling career or in watching other people in that ring, the bottom line is the dollars in the bank. When you're the world champion, you're putting more of them out of your division than anybody else.
Indeed. Arm twist reversal by Welch. Good takedown.
Nice takedown. Stubbs on defense now. And, of course, this is the posture of many of the world's champions. They'll lay back, let the challenger, let the man they're wrestling bring it to them. Look for the opening. Of course, Jerry Stubbs, as we mentioned to Brad Armstrong earlier in the program, you're at the top of your division right now, and the only way to go is down, and everyone's gunning for you.
Quite a test for Brad Armstrong. At this stage of his career, it is really a test for him to hold that title. Good move by Welch, and it's a 2 count on the champion.
Stubbs bailing right out. And, of course, you know, that is true, Charlie. Everyone thinks, well, it's awfully hard work. It's a lot of hard work and dedication to get to the top. But it's even harder work and more dedication to stay there.
To stay on the top. Exactly right. And I think the theory you were talking about, it really makes sense for a champion like Jerry Stubbs to stay on defense during the match and look for that opening, because if you get too aggressive, that right man's going to come along sometime and it's all over.
Most definitely, Charlie. You know, at any stage, in any division, any weight limit, or any region or world title, you worked hard to get that belt. You want to hang on to it at any cost. It is money in the bank. It is prestige. And certainly, you're not going out there. You didn't win it by making foolish mistakes. You certainly can't hang on to it by doing that same thing.
Side headlock by Stubbs.
Stubbs has been playing it close to the vest. He has really opened up with Roy, and rightly so. Welch can take advantage of a slight opening or a slight mistake on your part and turn into a win for himself. It seemed to it many times. And right now they're in the ropes. And a little short shoulder by Roy, and a second one doubles the champion up.
Move by Welch, catches his man with that elbow coming off the rope. Certainly, the talk of Jerry Stubbs and his accomplishments in pro wrestling, but 2 count on the champion. Again, you've got to look at it this way. Excellent opportunity for Welch. Right move, catch that champion off guard, even though this is a non-title match, to defeat the world junior heavyweight champion. That would be an accomplishment.
A strong bargaining position when it comes down to contract time. A win over the champion. And, of course, when we're on the subject of Brad Armstrong, junior heavyweight champions, you know, Jerry was rather distressed that he was not in the one-night tournament in which Brad won that title. But certainly he's got a title now that is a notch, as far as this country is concerned, above that. It would be interesting to see these two locking horns. The young, aggressive U.S. junior heavyweight champion and the veteran world junior heavyweight champion.
And right now, under pressure, Stubbs begins to open up on Welch.
Jerry is methodically chipping away at the defenses of Roy Welch now. Welch stunned and dazed, coming up slowly. Stubbs tries that knee in high on the... And Roy coming up slowly now, moving to the ropes for a little assistance. Stubbs right on top of him. And of course, you see this, where Jerry realizes he is in the driver's seat. It's the one point, Charlie, that he is opening up. He's moving in, taking advantage. He's seen the door open before he's taking a chance of going over the threshold.
Smart move by Welch. Uses that bottom rope. The break is called for by Brock. Forearm to the side of the head.
Stubbs moving in on him again, and another well-placed forearm. Roy right back at him with a shot to the midsection, and again. And And Welch now taking some of the wind out of the sails of champion Jerry Stubbs.
Welch takes his man over in the ropes. Comes off. High back body drop. Down for the pin. 2 count. And the champion powers out again.
Jerry coming up slowly, favoring the back. Welch throwing the forearm. Going again with that right hand. Grabs the headlock now. Stubbs kind of pulls him off. Goes to the elbow with a miss. Welch going for the drop kick, but Stubbs was able to catch him midair, turns him out for the grab. Roy with good leverage takes him over. And Stubbs has got him. A good exchange series, Charlie, by both wrestlers. Stubbs comes out on the top, edges his man with a 3 count. Nice pin.
Beautiful series of moves. Jerry Stubbs, World Junior Heavyweight Champion, your winner of the match over Roy Welch. Our personality profile is coming up next. Stay with us.
Proud Jerry Stubbs. Jerry, you've proved to not only the wrestling fans here in the southeastern area, but all over the world to be one of the most successful young athletes in pro wrestling today. You've had a lot of hard times recently in the holding of the United States Junior Heavyweight title. That title was held up. There was a one-night tournament for a new champion. Brad Armstrong was successful in dominating that tournament, and he is now the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion. You want that title match, and rightfully so. Since you held the title longer than anyone else in the history of the U.S. Junior title, you have that matchup coming.
Well, let me clear up something right now. You know, they did hold a United States Junior title tournament, and it was held in Mobile, and Brad Armstrong won it. But Jerry Stubbs wasn't in that tournament. Jerry Stubbs had a World Junior title match with Les Thornton, whom I defeated. And Brad Armstrong, you're standing in my way, son, and let me tell you, I'm going to be the first one to hold the World and the United States Junior Heavyweight Championships. And boy, let me tell you, you've made a bad mistake. You're in my way. And if I have to hurt you, maybe I won't have to hurt you too bad, but you're going to get out of my way, and I'm going to be the first to hold both titles.
That would be a major accomplishment for you, Jerry, to hold both the World Junior Heavyweight Championship and the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship. And another studio right now standing by with the current U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion is Les Thatcher. And Les, let's have some comments from Brad Armstrong.
Thank you, Charlie. Brad, probably at first glance, every 18-year-old boy in the country would like to be in your shoes, the youngest United States Junior Heavyweight Champion. But as we look a little deeper, you're the top gunfighter in the division now. A lot of gunfighters are coming after you, and one such man is Jerry Stubbs, who held this belt longer than anyone else. How does this make you feel?
Well, Jerry Stubbs is a very tough man, no doubt. But winning this title to me was one of the happiest moments in my life. The best thing to ever happen to me, I think, because I did it by myself, and it proved a lot to me. And Jerry Stubbs, he held this belt longer than anybody. That's what was said earlier, and I realized that he's going to be coming after me tough, and I'm going to have to be just a little tougher because me and Jerry used to work out together and used to be real good friends, real close. So I learned all of his moves, and most of them he taught me. But I've learned a little bit more in the profession. I don't know about this no DQ. I'm not sure about that. But I'm going to be out there giving 100%, and that's all I can do, Les.
Brad, I know you will. I know you'll give 100%. Brad Armstrong did prove in a field of wrestlers more experienced, 4 veterans actually, that he was the better wrestler. And this is what he's going to have to prove as he faces Jerry Stubbs for this title. Back to you, Charlie.
Thank you. That's an interesting point is that in Brad Armstrong getting into professional wrestling in the real early stages of his career, he did work out with Jerry Stubbs. Jerry Stubbs showed him many of the moves that you have perfected and has made your career very successful in pro wrestling. And a little advantage for Brad concerning what he knows about Jerry Stubbs and his moves.
Well, you know, he don't know all about Jerry Stubbs because like you just said, Charlie Platt, I did teach the boy a lot of moves, a lot of ways to get out of holes. But let me tell you, I never taught you all of them. And let me say something. I like to go back to this tournament. You know, this United States Junior Heavyweight Tournament one more time. Brad, you did not defeat me. You have never beat me, and you never will beat me. So when you come, make sure you bring that nice, shiny United States Junior Heavyweight belt, because we're going right down to it, and I'm going to take it all home. Just like I said at the start of this program, I'm going to be first to hold both titles, and I may just retire both of them.
Interesting points. The United States Junior Heavyweight Championship, if won by Jerry Stubbs, would put him in a very good position, him holding the World Junior Heavyweight Championship and the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship. On the other side of the coin, we're looking at Brad Armstrong, who only July 4th started in professional wrestling in the top 5 for Rookie of the Year for 1980. And at the young age of 18, he now holds the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship.
He's come a long way, Charlie Platt, and one reason is because of me. I helped put you there, son, but I'm going to help take you down. You can count on that.
The outcome should be interesting.
We're here in the ring with the Alabama State Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Mr. Saito, and Mr. Saito, a lot of people have been wanting to understand the way you use your sleeper or your Cobra hold, which is so much different from everyone else's. So we've asked you to come in and demonstrate us and show us exactly move for move how you do the sleeper hold.
Okay, I show you, American people, my sleeper hold, I show you now.
Okay, step by step, very slowly, if you will, Roy. Demonstration. Right, and when you feel yourself going, just tap it.
All right, I'll tap you on the arm. Don't worry about sorry.
Okay.
Okay?
Slowly, please go through it step by step.
Oh, thank you. Very good. So camera here, grab my left side, right side. I grab
the left arm.
Right side.
Come across. Underneath. He's going up under the left arm.
Very important here.
Very important, Saito. Then he clamps off. Wait a minute, he's out. Wait a minute, he's going down. Bring it up. Referee. Saito clamping down on the carotid artery.
Mr. Saito.
Oh, wait a minute now. All right,
Saito. In that demonstration, Saito going after Welch. The referee tries to pull him off. Now it's Bob Armstrong. Armstrong coming into the ring. Mr. Saito supposed to be giving it a demonstration of his very unusual sleeper hold. He did not relinquish the hold as Roy Welch was going out, and then Saito grabs referee Larry Brock. Coming in to break it up, Bob Armstrong.
You all right, Roy?
And Armstrong coming to the rescue of...
Go back to the desk to Charlie Platt. We'll join him over there, Bob, if you don't mind.
Armstrong coming to the rescue of not only referee Larry Brock, but Roy Welch. It was Mr. Saito not wanting to relinquish that hold, that patented sleeper that he has.
Supposed to have been a demonstration. Of course, it did get out of hand. Roy tapped him to turn loose. I tapped him, and of course, he did not turn loose. But it was supposed to be...
I understood that was supposed to be a demonstration, and the man bared down, and you have to referee too. I know what that hold will do to you. I've been in it before, and that's ridiculous. A demonstration is a demonstration. He wasn't out here to hurt anybody.
That's right.
We have a piece of videotape, Bob, in which you were in action against Mr. Saito. Wayne, if we could, let's roll that tape.
You know, lately, every time you see Saito, you see Condrey and Rose. There's an old saying, birds of a feather flock together. Every time I see these three, it looks like buzzards to me. That's the kind of feathered friends they are. Now, right here, we'd been going pretty good, Charlie, and I did go to the use of a little martial arts. He'd been doing it to me all night, so I just retaliated. It was a pretty hard-fought match. We were both down and out here. In fact, I believe the referee was counting us both at this time. But this man's, his form of the sleeper hold does cut off the carotid artery, and it'll put you out in a minute. Now, here I was just beating him to the punch a little bit. He was trying to jack my jaw a little, and I showed him what jaw jacking and
chest slapping was all about, brother. I was popping him good, but here he comes right back. It was kind of nip and tuck here. He can hit hard, and I don't hit easy myself. And here he grabbed the headlock, and here he went. He caught me with a knee right here. I had a move for him, but he caught me with a knee, and that knocked me senseless. I ended up with one leg on the rope. He's a tough man, no doubt about it. And here he goes with that martial art. So he hits you right in the sternum, takes your breath. He uses a lot of moves. He's a good wrestler, but he certainly knows that martial art. And here he's going to every move he can. He's choking, he's scratching, biting, anything he can do. And he's noted for that. He's known all over the world for that. Here he's got me against the rope, and he's throwing me in right here. He's going to put the quietus to me, but I ducked. And when I ducked, I caught him by surprise, nailed him a couple of times. There I put it on him. Then I had it on him real good. And in a minute, you're going to see the other birds of a feather that flock together. The other buzzards are going to come right in the ring. Here they come. Every time I turn around, there they are. Now, you're going to see him hold me in just a second there. I fought him for a minute. Now, he hits me with a karate shot right here to put my Adam's apple down to my kneecap somewhere. And then he puts his hold on me. Now, that's exactly the kind of trick he tried to pull right here. 3-on-1. That's the way they like it. Now, they're having a ball here, and finally he puts me completely out. But, you know, Charlie, to me, that's not what professional wrestling is all about, 3-on-1. Now, here comes Paul and Norvell to try to get him off of me, and they were fighting him off. And he had me out. He could have let me go. I didn't even know where I was at this time. They were fighting to get in. He just wanted to do permanent damage because, sure enough, if you hold the Japanese sleeper the way he uses it, it'll do permanent damage to you. You cut off that carotid artery to the brain long enough, and it's going to do some brain damage. You can see he's holding on. He knows he's got me. He ain't moving a muscle. Everybody's fighting to get in, and finally, they do the job and get him off of me. And I was in Never Never Land. The Sandman had come to see me in the form of one big Japanese wrestler. But, you know, like I say, they all flock together, 3 of them. If you see Condrey or Rose, you see Saito. But sooner or later, this gang of buzzard is going to be busted up. Maybe sooner than later, because I got a plan just like they have. And it might work, brother. It's going to work.
Comments of Bob Armstrong. More action coming your way on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Stay with us.
Again, Channel 42, beginning at 2 p.m. That's next Saturday here on 42 at 2 p.m. Monday night in Boutwell Auditorium, a Super Southeastern Wrestling lineup. One of the feature matches is a karate legal match, non-sanctioned by Southeastern Wrestling, pitting this man, Bob Armstrong, against the Oriental Ace, Mr. Saito. Before I talk to Bob, let's hear from Mr. Saito.
Karate legal match. This is my match. You know, American karate, too soft, so dumb, not too good. Japanese karate is so great karate. I am just good and I have power. All right, Bob Armstrong, you got to be the biggest fool in the world to sign a match not sanctioned by the NWA karate legal match with this man.
There you have it, Bob. How do you feel?
Well, sanctioned or not, I sanctioned it and Saito sanctioned it. And I notice any time you see him, you see Condrey and Rose. It's kind of like birds of a feather flocking together, and there were 3 buzzards if I've ever seen them. Well, they could get their little beaks chopped off. Why not a karate match? Every time I turn around in Birmingham, that Saito is karateing me half to death. Well, why not make it legal? Let's just karate each other. And like I've said before, he might be a master. He might know a million ways to chop me to pieces. But I know one darn good way to chop you, brother. And you know what? It only takes one, Les. It only takes one place. One in the right place, brother, and you will go down like the big Japanese bull that you are. And I hope Condrey and Rose are waiting in the ring, because when you fall, brother, I hope that Boutwell Auditorium will shake for 5 minutes when your big 245-pound carcass hits the mat. And if you decide to get into it like you usually do, I'm going to have me some troops waiting this time. It could turn into an all-scale war. Well, if it does, so be it. I'm tired of getting chopped up. I got stitches in my head. My shoulder's dislocated. But who cares? In Boutwell, we're going to get it on karate, kung fu, or boogaloo.
Monday night in Birmingham.
Your attention, please. Our next match, 1 fall TV time remaining. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 225 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones. At 232 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Golden. Jimmy Golden. Golden taking on Jimmy Jones. And, of course, main man of controversy in the ring right now.
Certainly. And he's built all that controversy around himself. After this match, we'll be inviting Jimmy Golden to the dance floor. Take a look once again at the controversial thing. Jones going after Golden. Golden takes a hike and will take a breather with a 10 count on the outside of the ring. Certainly one thing's for sure, Jimmy will win this match, Charlie.
Jimmy will win the match. Lock up again. It's Golden. With the ride. Takedown.
I'd be anxious to ask Jimmy Golden some questions about the incident involving his cousin, Ron Ford, the Tennessee Stud, in the match with the Bass brothers. Ron is on. As we mentioned earlier, Don Bass has joined John Valiant on the broken leg disc, and Ron Ford, the Tennessee Stud, out of action indefinitely.
Golden takes his man head first into that turnbuckle. Boot to the midsection. Golden opening up on Jones.
You know, I do believe that Jimmy Golden is more comfortable wrestling the style we're seeing today than he was in the several weeks that he altered his style to get alongside his cousin, Ron Fuller, the Tennessee Stud. I'm anxious to ask Jimmy some questions about this thing,
too. Some questions have been asked Jimmy already, Les, but as of such, I have heard none that made any sense whatsoever.
The answers are not exactly what we call concise and to the point.
Exactly right. Right now, he's opening up on Jimmy Jones.
Golden shooting his man in, catches him with a kick. Goes to work on Jones. Went back with a headlock now.
Controversy about the legality of some of Golden's rules that he follows in that ring. Certainly they are questionable.
Jones catching him and doubling up with that elbow, moving in now on Golden. Another shot to the midsection. Jones catapults him across corner. Moves in again, and Jimmy Jones having things his way here as Golden pulls himself back into his rope and falls to the break. Jones lays a token knee in there. Doubles him up with a shot to the midsection as he comes off the ropes.
Takes him in. Golden catching Jones with the boot to the face. Hooks in that neck breaker. Pulls his man up. Does not even go for the pin. And again, neck breaker by Jimmy Golden. And he has the match over Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy Golden with a win and a decisive win over Jimmy Jones. We're going to try and get Jimmy Golden down here to the desk with us, and Charlie and I both mentioned a lot of questions to ask. Whether we'll get the answers or not is a course of an entirely different color.
Indeed, Les. Jimmy Golden, a man of controversy for some time in the Southeastern Wrestling area, comes back, and Ron Fuller takes him as a partner, and in a double bull rope match, we see that you again, Jimmy Golden, have turned completely against the Fuller family.
What?
Turned completely.
You don't know what you're talking about, Charlie.
Let's roll the film if we can.
Let me tell you something. They're going to give me a medal, baby. An honor medal. Because I have come up with the greatest plan, and it all fit together like a real small puzzle.
Well, what we're seeing here is you and Ron Bass coming back into the ring. The inside stepper we're told Ron Fuller has on Donnie Bass. At this point, the leg of Donnie Bass was broken. But you and Ron Bass lash each arm, each wrist of Ron Fuller, the Tennessee Stud, string him up between corners, Jimmy, and just literally start to pound on him.
He had it coming. That jerk has had it coming for all of his born days. He has broke leg after leg, and right there he was going to break Donnie Bass's leg, and there was enough of it. He ain't going to break no more legs because he ain't here no more. And I'm going to tell you something, Tennessee Stud. You're going to be bye-bye. He's gone for good because I seen him haul him off like the Tennessee trash that he is. And right here you see he's going to get the licking of his life. You people thought that he was indestructible. Baby, I fixed him. I destroyed him. He is out. There will be no more Tennessee Stud. I'm going to be your stud.
Let me ask you a question,
Super Stud.
Were you involved with Johnny Valiant? Because Valiant came to this area as the stud's partner and later turned on him. They had their altercations. Valiant's leg is broken. Were you involved in that in any way?
All I can say for Johnny Valiant, he couldn't get the job done, baby. He couldn't get the job done, but Jimmy Golden could. And right here you see Jimmy Golden doing it, baby. I'm taking the mask off of that Tennessee stud. He is no longer the Tennessee stud. I'm the stud.
You're saying that Ron Fuller had this coming, that he deserved this, but Jimmy, did you ever see him lash anyone to a ring, make them defenseless, and then beat them?
Thatcher, I have seen them Fuller boys do horrible things that you cannot even imagine. You cannot even imagine. Them boys have had a silver spoon stuck in their mouth ever since the day they was born, and when the going got tough, the Fullers scooted out. They found them on the back door exit, brother. When it gets too tough for them, they get a way out, baby. But right here, there's no way out. I wish you people could have been there to... You can see it right here on this film in color, baby. And it's something else, I'm telling you. Indestructible Tennessee stud is gone. They hauled him out, the Tennessee trash. And he is gone bye-bye. There will be no more Tennessee stud. The only stud you're going to see is super stud.
Charlie,
I have no reasoning, sensible reasoning for all this taking place.
Right here is your Tennessee stud. I told you one time, and I'll tell you again, he's a no-good jerk that likes to break people's bones, but he's not here no more. There's your Tennessee stud, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to all you wonderful fans, you've made it possible for me. You made it possible. Where you going, Charlie Platt? Well, you little brown-nosing jerk. You're a knob polisher, boy. Anytime I want the Fullers to know something, I'll just tell you, you're going to leave too less. We don't need you. You can go ahead and leave too. Let me tell you something, ladies and
we will get out of this segment of the program.
Don't cut me off there. Hold it. I'll buy some more time. Don't.
Well Auditorium at 8 p.m., a Super Southeastern Wrestling card. For reservations and information, call 320-6163. Tickets on sale Monday at 9 a.m. at the Boutwell box office. In a special event, Mr. USA Tony Atlas comes to Birmingham to battle Jimmy Golden. The Southeastern Tag Team title on the line as Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey defend against the tandem of Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff. In a karate legal match, non-sanctioned by Southeastern Wrestling, Bob Armstrong battles Mr. Saito. United States Junior Heavyweight title on the line, no disqualification as champion Brad Armstrong meets Jerry Stubbs. Robert Gibson against outlaw Ron Bass, and Charlie Cook opens against Oki Shikina. Don't forget, Mr. USA Tony Atlas against Jimmy Golden. Rose and Condrey defend against Austin and Orndorff. Armstrong against Saito. Brad Armstrong defends the U.S. Junior title against Jerry Stubbs, and it all comes together Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium at 8 p.m. And in the special main event on Monday night in Boutwell Auditorium, Jimmy Golden goes against Mr. USA Tony Atlas. We'll remind you to watch us here on Channel 42 next Saturday at 2 p.m. for Southeastern Wrestling. Before I talk to Jimmy Golden about this special match coming up Monday night, let's hear from Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas, Monday night, Birmingham, Alabama. You've got Jimmy Golden, and you're there. Well, your mission is revenge for a friend.
That's right. You know, Ron Fuller and Robert Fuller, they're very good friends of mine. When I first started in this business, you know, a lot of people try to take advantage of me because they always try to take advantage of a young guy just started in the business. And when I came here to Georgia, one of the first people I made a town with was Robert Fuller and Ron Fuller. And they took very good care of me. When I first came into Georgia, it taught me a lot of tricks and a lot of things in the ring, and that's the main reason why I'm coming there to take care of you, Jimmy Golden, because my main man, Robert Fuller, is unable to be there because he under a commitment he got himself under a long time ago about a lose or leave town commitment, which means he can't come there to whoop your butt. But I ain't under no commitment. You don't put my main man, Ron Fuller, out of business. You let me see if you could put Tony Atlas out of business. And then when I get through with your brother, if anything left, my main man, Robert, going to be there later on and get
Jimmy Tony Atlas, a big, powerful man, and he's out to revenge a friend.
Big and powerful. Let me tell you something, Brother Tony Atlas. You know, people's coming in, wrestlers are coming in from everywhere, man, challenging Jimmy Golden, Dusty Rhodes, Tony Atlas, Robert Fuller. Everybody, all of them has come to see the big man, the superstar. Let me show you something here about my ex-friend, the Tennessee Stud. He is no longer with us. He is gone bye-bye. I seen him haul him off like the Tennessee trash that he is. He is gone. He is it. That's it. No more Tennessee Stud. Here's your Tennessee Stud, what's left of him. I'm the stud, the super stud. And let me tell you something, Tony Atlas, and you people out there, you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I'm going to take this musclehead. Where you from anyway, boy? I'm going to take you, Muscles, and I'm going to show you what wrestling is all about, brother, because you're against the best that there is, man. Like I said, they're coming from everywhere now.
Monday.
And
Have to close it out. Charlie Platt a little upset with Jimmy Golden being as close as he is to Ron Fuller. You've seen a lot of action today. And, of course, Jimmy Golden has got his hands full. As many friends of the Tennessee Stud calling in from around the country, issuing personal challenges to revenge their friend who is now injured and will be out of action. That's it for today here at Southeastern Wrestling. Les Thatcher for everyone saying thanks for being with us and so long. Welcome to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Innovators in televised wrestling of personality profiles. Split screen, instant replay first. The program voted #1 by the Wrestling Writers Federation of America. Join us now for the fast-paced competition of professional wrestling, featuring the top grapplers from the world's largest governing body, the National Wrestling Alliance.
Charlie Platt along with Les Thatcher. Welcome to Southeastern Championship Wrestling, another innovation by Southeastern Wrestling President Don Curtis. Today starts Championship Month, Les.
That's right, and the first title defended here on television, Charlie, will be the Alabama State title held by Mr. Saito. He'll be going against Bob Armstrong.
Also in action today, you'll see former North American heavyweight champion Paul Orndorff in action against Oki Shikina.
Outlaw Ron Bass takes on Robert Gibson.
And Jimmy Golden takes on Ray Harris. A lot of action, a lot of news taking place in the Southeastern wrestling area. And with Championship Month, it brings to mind a lot of things are happening with titles here in the area.
That's right. Within a matter of 5 days, Jerry Stubbs defeated Les Thornton for the World Junior Heavyweight title. And in the first return bout, Thornton was able to edge Stubbs. And, of course, this shocked the entire wrestling world. Jerry Stubbs is out to regain that title. We'll be talking to people about that later on, Charlie.
Another shock to the wrestling world was the incident taking place between Jimmy Golden and the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller. This week in Knoxville, Tennessee, we were able to talk with the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, and an unexpected development took place there, Les. He vacated the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship right after a doctor's checkup. We had a chance to talk to Ron Fuller in Knoxville.
Well, Charlie, I do have a lot of things on my mind. First of all, I just got some stitches taken out of my head yesterday from the altercation with Jimmy Golden, and I just got through seeing a neck specialist here that I've seen several times over the past few years. I've got a bad neck problem. I've always had a bad neck problem, and he's advised me that I shouldn't wrestle for at least 3 or 4 weeks. But in this sport, athletes normally get well a lot quicker than the average person does, and I think that I'll be back in the ring in the next couple of weeks or so. However, I do want to, the reason that I called y'all to come to Tennessee is this has been a very tough time for me the last month, 5-6 weeks in my life. I had the problem with John Valiant, who I brought from New York, who I didn't know very well, and it was to be expected that that man would possibly turn on me. But this thing with Jimmy Golden is really more than physically hurting my body, and it's been a real mental torment to me, Charlie. I really thought that I could trust Jimmy Golden. I guess I was a real fool to think so, and my brother told me so, and I guess he was absolutely right about it. Well, the reason I called you up here is, like I said, I'm not supposed to compete in the ring for the next month at least, the doctor tells me, but I'm going to be wrestling again very soon, but I'm not going to wrestle in the southeastern area anymore. I've given this a lot of thought. I feel like that I have been humiliated in this part of the country by the things that's happened to me, especially over this incident with Jimmy Golden. And what I called you up here for is to tell you and to tell the people there in that part of the country that they've all been very kind to me, and I really have enjoyed it. I love that part of the country, but I don't want to compete there anymore. I don't want to be around Jimmy Golden. I don't want to be around the humiliation that I've really suffered there in the past 5 or 6 weeks. And what I want to do, Charlie, is I brought this belt. I know you're going to be here today, and I'm vacating the Southeastern Championship. I would certainly like the title shot with Harley Race, and I know that there's some tremendous wrestlers in the southeastern part of the United States right now. I know that there's going to be some fine competitors that will lay his hands on this belt. and he may be the next world heavyweight champion. But at this point in time in my life, I don't have the heart, the desire, I don't have the peace of mind, I don't have the things necessary to compete like a man should anymore, and that thing has been very, very personally is one of the finest things that I've ever owned is a Southeastern belt, and I do hate to give it up, but I cannot in good faith come back to the Southeastern United States and compete, and that's it.
There you see the incident taking place. It's certainly surprising that Ron Fuller surrendered the Southeastern title, but when you get to thinking about the family aspect that's involved with cousin Jimmy Golden, there's a lot of problems.
I was about to say, Charlie, I don't think it's a case that Ron's running away, walking away, whatever. Certainly a lot of mental aggravation. I can appreciate that. This is a sport that I've always been proud of as a competitor, as a wrestling commentator. But what's happened needs a little time, I guess, for Ron to clear it out of his mind. It's not the body that's bothering him, it's a mental thing. And I can appreciate that. We're going to wish Ron the best of luck, sir.
Well, that's all I can say is with the incident and with the comments of Ron, best wishes to the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, an outstanding athlete and pro wrestler. Let's go to the ring now for the introduction of our first match of the day.
Our first match, one fall, 10-minute time limit to referee Tommy Weathers. Tommy Weathers. Introducing in the corner to my left at 235 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff. His opponent at 240 pounds from Japan, the Japanese destroyer Oki Shikina.
Shikina taking on former North American heavyweight champion Paul Orndorff, who in his short time here in the Southeastern wrestling area has gained the support of all the wrestling fans, and rightfully so.
Yes, he has. Paul's created quite a stir among the wrestlers themselves. He and Norvell Austin have done well in tag team action. Paul in singles action has been very productive. And certainly I think this young man will be heard a lot from physically in that wrestling ring. He's a hard man to handle. And he takes care of his opponents. Shakina on the move now. Orndorff, stop, good move. Oh-ho.
And it's Orndorff dropping that elbow, coming up with the arm bar on Oki Shikina. In case you're just joining us, it's championship month.
Yes, it is. Saito against Armstrong for the Alabama State title coming up in the program. We might look at that situation. Paul was trying to go over the top of Shikina as he saw him coming back. Shikina pulling up short, lost his balance. Paul going backwards toward him, and down went Shikina, which Oki thought he was going to pull one out of the fire on Paul there, but it backfired on Oki.
Arm twist by Paul Orndorff, and again applying that pressure. Shikina with a shortcut, takedown by the hair, but Orndorff right back to his feet.
Shikina with that shot to the throat, cutting the wind off, the air supply, and goes to work on Orndorff. Veteran campaigner Oki Shikina, a hard man to handle. He'll give you a fight any time you face him. And right now, Paul Orndorff is incurring his wrath. A chop to the forehead, a jab in up under the chin, and being returned by referee Tommy Weathers. Orndorff blasts back at second right and a third. Paul Orndorff grabs the headlock, Charlie. Landing right on his feet.
Hits him with a drop kick. Orndorff crashing down with that knee into the chest area. Takes his man back into the ropes. Wow, that's drop.
Orndorff on the move. What's he going for here? The suplex. Drop Shikina.
And your winner, former North American heavyweight champion, Paul Orndorff, on championship month here at Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Great win for Paul Orndorff. And speaking of champions, Paul Orndorff has been in pursuit along with his tag team partner, Norvell Austin. They're after the Southeastern tag titles held by Rosenthal.
That's right. Randy Rhodes going to walk right in front of our camera for us now, and he and Dennis Conner are going to join us to look at a film of them against Orndorff and Austin, and the titles were at stake, Charlie.
Yeah, go ahead and show us the film here. Show us how they threw away the rule book. Show us how they abided by no rules whatsoever.
And here we see videotaped highlights of a match in which Austin Orndorff went after your Southeastern Tag titles.
You know, it's gotten to the point, Charlie Clash, when we come out here, we try to wrestle, we try to abide by the rules. All these people over here love us. All these people out here watching love us. We try our best. But the first person that throws punches, the first person that throws us over the rope, seems to be Orndorff and Austin. And they're coming out here trying to reverse all kinds of decisions, knowing that they're in the wrong and we're in the right. Like we said, there's a conspiracy, a bias against Rose and Condrey in this area.
Let's watch this tape. I think it'll speak for itself in this particular situation. There you are diverting the attention of the referee.
You know, Mr. Blatt, the only thing we ask for in a contest is that the referee call it right down the middle. That's all we ask for, because we are scientific wrestlers and we do abide by the rules. Now, all we ask is for the referees in the southeastern area to just call it like you see it, baby. Just call it right down the middle. See here, I'm on the top rope. I started to jump off, and I said, no, I'm not going to do it. That's against the rules. I'm not going to do nothing against the rules. Strictly by the rules. My courage was up there, and he said, no. He said, no, I'm going to go by the rules. We're starting to go by the rules now. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to stick to it, me and my cousin both.
I think the tape takes care of explaining everything. If you're abiding by the rules, 2 on 1 is not
rope is not against the rules. It's not off the top, it's against the rules. The second rope is not against the rules. If you realize the ropes are there, Charlie, if they wasn't, they're there for a reason. We use the rope. We use every wrestling hole. We use everything we know. They are there for a reason.
That is the top rope you're coming off.
No, my left foot was on the
rope,
second
and
rope.
that is a disqualification.
No, I was coming strictly off the second rope.
The top rope you came off of, and that was a disqualification.
I didn't remember my cousin doing that. That must be some kind of trick photography or something.
There's
my
no
cousin
trick
did not
photography
come off the
involved.
top rope like you just saw.
I think like you just saw, he did come off the top rope, and that is a disqualification automatically.
Well, here we had a little misunderstanding here.
The match is over at this point.
It's already over, huh?
And the match goes to Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin on the disqualification. You coming off, Randy Rose coming off of that top rope.
You know, that's right we say. All we want is the referee to call it right down the middle. That's all we ask for. You know, we got plenty of glasses, and the referee, I think he needs some, because I was not on the top rope, and you need to have your check possible.
Coming off the top rope, automatic disqualification, and it could be a way to hold on to titles for the Southeastern Tag Champions. We'll be back with more action on Southeastern Wrestling in just a moment.
Call 320-6163. Tickets on sale at the Boutwell box office Monday at 9 a.m. In the main event, a challenge match. Ken Lucas returns to action to battle Jimmy Golden. The new Southeastern heavyweight champion, Outlaw Ron Bass, defends against Paul Orndorff in a special event. 6-man tag team action. Bob and Brad Armstrong team with Norvell Austin to take on the trio of Mr. Saito, Randy Rose, and Dennis Condrey. Women's liberation comes to professional wrestling. It's women versus men as Joyce Grable and Judy Martin meet Roy Welch and Robert Gibson. Jerry Stubbs takes on Tom Horn, and Ron Slinker opens against Oki Shakina. Don't forget, Ken Lucas against Jimmy Golden, Ron Bass against Paul Orndorff, the Armstrongs in Austin against Saito, Rose, and Condrey, and women's liberation match, Joyce Grable and Judy Martin take on Roy Welch and Robert Gibson. It all comes together Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium. We'd like to remind you fans there is no wrestling here on Channel 42 next week, but wrestling returns on Saturday, February the 21st at 2 p.m. No wrestling next Saturday, February the 21st. Wrestling returns at 2 p.m. A super lineup. Women against men Monday night in Boutwell's Auditorium, plus the new Southeastern heavyweight champion, Ron Bass, puts his title on the line against Paul Orndorff. Before I talk to the champion, let's hear from the challenger.
You know, Bass, I hope you're out there somewhere listening to what I got to say, because there's no love lost between us. We have met before in the middle of that ring, and I used to respect you as a person and as a wrestler. But anybody that deliberately tries to put another man out of what makes him a living can't be much of a man. You can't be gutless, because when I step in that ring with you, Bass, me and you going to go at it tooth and nail. I don't care. If you want to wrestle, we'll wrestle. If you want to fight, we'll fight. But I'm coming after that belt, because that belt means a lot. It means a shot at the world's heavyweight champion, and that's what I'm going for. I'm going for your belt, then I'm going to be the next world champion.
You've got a determined challenger. Your title's on the line for the first time in Birmingham, right?
The man's crying about Ricky Gibson again. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Orndorff. That's over. The man's hurt. He's done. He's gone. and you got to be a man to stay in this wrestling business, and that's what I am, Paul Orndorff. Now let's talk about this title just a minute, Les. You know as well as I do that Harley Race, the world's champion, will be here in less than a month away. And whoever's holding this title right here is going to get a chance at that world's championship. That's something that we're all striving for. That's something we all dream of. And Paul Orndorff, you're right. I have met you before, and you didn't like that outcome at all, did you, boy? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to like it Monday night even less. Because when I get you in Boutwell, I've got something to prove to myself, and I got something to prove to the fans, the promotion, that I'm going to be the man that wrestles Harley Race. I'm going to hold this title and be the man.
Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, a super lineup. Women against men, the Southeastern title at stake. A great array of stars. You won't want to miss it.
Join me now, three champions in their own right, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose, the Southeastern Tag Champions, and Mr. Saito, the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion. Mr. Saito will be defending his title today on television against Bob Armstrong as a part of Championship Month, here the month of February at Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
You know, today, Bob Armstrong, you know, I beat so easy. You're too soft. You karate too soft. You know, American karate, the disco dance. Today, I beat the hell out of you. You know my in the ring. You retire. You stay home. Eat popcorn, watch TV. You family take care of you.
Something else that you three men are joining in a venture into six-man tag action, and the Southeastern Tag Champions will be teaming with the Alabama State Champion.
You know, you're just surrounded by champions on each side and then behind you. First of all, the Southeastern champions, Condrey and Rose, to each side. The Alabama champion behind you, baby. You're surrounded by them, brother. First of all, you're lucky for us to adorn our presence to you. And these people here watching this TV, you're lucky to have the champions. As the Queen says, we are champions. And we will remain champions. TV, it don't matter, like the man says. All of you can go home, eat popcorn, watch TV.
Well, let me remind you there's some outstanding competitors like Paul Orndorff, Ken Lucas, and others.
They may be outstanding to you, but to us, they're just another doormat to walk across. Because we got the belt, and we're going to keep them.
You'll be seeing them in six-man tag action, the Southeastern Tag Champions, Rose and Condrey, and the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Saito.